Now, I've never been known as the guy who is the most financially conscious, financially smart guy in the entire world, and that's what leads me on to my next and latest purchase. It is the greatest purchase I have probably ever made, aside from buying a car. And now you might be wondering, well, what could this purchase be? Well, this channel is about car things. I love my BMW. I've been talking about doing this for a while now, and this is a big day for me because just about a month ago, I went on a sketchy little trip down south where I met up with a very nice man. He gave me some stuff, I gave him some money. And that leads on to my latest purchase, which is this. I have officially bought an entire manual swap for my E36. Now, not only is this amazing because we'll get into the specifications of this entire manual swap later, but if you look right behind me over here, this is everything I need, including this stuff. I now have a clutch, flywheel kit. I have all the little odds and ends. I have my shifter, I have my linkage, I have some connecting stuff, I have some extra bolts now. We have everything that we need to finally manual swap this car. This is going to be the greatest upgrade I have ever done to this vehicle. Aside from spending 5 hours trying to switch out the crankshaft sensor, which we're not going to talk about that one. This is going to be probably one of the longest, most technically intricate things that I've ever done in this car. This is it. This is the big deal. I've been waiting about a month and a half to get everything together. This has cost me over $2,000. So hopefully I don't break anything in the process, because why would something like that happen? You know, it's a car thing. Car things always go to plan. It doesn't take longer than it needs to, and it doesn't cost more than it needs to, because this is cars we're talking about. Cars are not difficult. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about everything that I bought, what car it came from, and why it's going in my E36. First off, I do just want to thank you guys for watching this video because it has been a while since I posted my last video, and I've been meaning to make this kind of for a bit now, but I've been trying to collect all of the parts that I need, kind of like Thanos collecting the Infinity Stones, except Thanos didn't spend $2,000 fucking dollars collecting a bunch of hunks of metal. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Now, let's check out the parts that I just bought. Now, answering the question of where all of these parts came from, all of these parts came from a 2002 BMW 330i. So actually an E46, which should fit this E36 just fine. Now, everything here is from the exact same car. As far as I'm aware, you know, you never know really. This is a ZF 5-speed manual transmission from that 330i. Every part here, as you can tell from this drive shaft right here, it quite literally says E46 on it. So I don't know how much more E46 you can get, but that is essentially the bread and butter of everything that's going in here. A beautiful E46 gave up its life and it has been donated to me. Now, there are a bunch of things that I'm going to be replacing just kind of as like a preventative maintenance for this car because I don't want to have to do any of the work that I'm about to do again after I've already done it. Starting off with the transmission, the most important part here, aside from maybe the clutch, let's take a look at the things we're going to be upgrading just so we can say that we've done it and we don't have to worry about anything breaking or hopefully at least lasting a little longer. Starting off first, we're going to be replacing this guibo because although this thing doesn't look half bad, it does look a little worn out. If this is the original one from a 2002 car, that means it is 22 years old. This rubber is on its last leg, so we have a new guibo coming in. I'm gonna shape up all of these bolts, make sure they're not rusty, make them look pretty. With the clutch and flywheel kit that I got from ECS Tuning, it came with some polyurethane bushings for this, so those are gonna be very pretty. They're bright red, cool. That's gonna help keep the transmission nice and strong and stiff, so there's no warping, there's no waving of the entire transmission, which shouldn't really happen anyway as far as I'm aware, but the extra strength should just help with shifting and making it feel more like a driver's car, if that makes any sense, according to the internet. So I don't know how true that is. And everything else is pretty generic. You know, we have the drive shaft, we have the transmission brace, we have the shifter that connects into that part right there so we can obviously shift, and we have the main component of actually using the clutch, which is the clutch pedal. So everything that's mechanical going into this car, aside from the clutch kit and the flywheel and all the little doodads, is here. And this is everything that I need to do. We're also gonna be replacing this little spring and the thing that it's connected onto, just because if, again, they are as old as the guibo, this stuff is ready to break at any given moment, and I don't really wanna risk that. So for about $10, I bought both those parts, so nothing really to worry about. Now we're gonna move on to the second most expensive part of this entire list, which is the clutch kit. That thing, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be my first manual swap ever, and I haven't had to replace the clutch or flywheel before ever, and this stuff is really expensive. So I hope it's worth it because damn, I hope this doesn't break right away. Now, I do want to state really quick that most of this stuff came in a kit by itself. So no, I'm not some master genius that knew exactly what all of these little doodads and parts were called. It all came together, so I didn't really have to do anything. But starting off strong, we obviously have our ECS Tuning Performance Clutch Kit. This is going to be the main driver. This is going to be the clutch. This is one of the most expensive parts on this list. Next, we obviously have our flywheel that pairs with it. We were fortunate enough to receive some free polyurethane bushings. These are for the transmission. These are just regular mounts for the engine. So these were free. I just installed some brand new ones into the engine bay of the E36. So fortunately, these are just extra to have, but I won't complain because these are about 60 bucks a piece. So to get them for free, and the reason I'm using air quotes for free, is because this entire kit was on sale and it typically runs for about, I think it was $1,100 and I got it for $7. So by free, it's probably included into the aftermarket price. Anyway, that's irrelevant. All that matters is that we have the parts now. And a super important preventative maintenance part. We are going to be doing the rear main seal while we're in there because we're already going to have everything off. So we might as well replace it with all this nice gear right here so that we don't have to worry about there being a small little leak back there that's just going to ruin the whole vibe and the whole experience of this brand new manual swapped E36. And like I said earlier, we do have all these small little parts that I plan on replacing in the transmission. We have this for the little shift knob. You know, all these little parts are going to add up. And none of them were really expensive. I mean, I bought this little shifter pin just because for some reason the old one doesn't fit. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the new one doesn't either. So I don't know how the fuck that works because it fits into the backside just fine, but it doesn't fit here. And well, I'm no scientist, but I'm gonna try and sandpaper out this hole just a little bit to give it a little bit more clearance because this thing is uniform all the way through. So for it to not fit through one but fit through the other doesn't really make sense to me. And yeah, at the end of the day, buying this entire kit, buying all this small stuff with it, getting some extra parts over here, buying these little boots, you know, these are gonna be some performance upgrades. They're gonna make the inside of the car look much better. Went to Home Depot, got some clips. Gonna need those for the clutch line. And really, this is it. This is all that I have so far. A lot of the bolts are gonna be reused from the automatic transmission itself, and I do have some extra bolts in my drawer, so we're gonna just make it work. And I'm really excited because this is going to be the biggest project that I have ever done in my life. Not only is it going to be one of the biggest projects I've ever done in my life, and to this car, it's definitely gonna be one of the most expensive I've ever done. And really all that's left to do is to start. I'm gonna clean off the parts, kind of use some Scotch-Brite, clean up the transmission just a little bit. I'm gonna wash it out, I'm gonna wash everything. I want everything to be as clean as possible when I install it. Just for peace of mind. I know that like a little piece of gunk isn't going to stop this entire thing from working. It's gonna be my first manual swap ever, and so I want this to go well. We both know it won't work, but we're gonna try our best anyway. Which means that this video marks the final time sitting in the E36 as an automatic. And by looking at it from my point of view, I'm really excited because this is gonna be insane. And now I've owned this car for about 2 years now, and this is the best car that I have ever owned. If you're looking for a practical daily, this is not it. But if you're looking for a not fast, not super slow, reliable project car to work on, I think this is it. This is the 10 out of 10 car I would choose if I had to do it again. I love this car, and although, you know, it's an automatic and some big changes are coming to this car, this thing's gonna be insane. And again, I love this car so much, which is the reason why I'm going through all the struggle of waiting 2 years, not only to financially afford it, but to find all the parts. Because honestly, unless you have a bag to spend on this, it's a pain in the ass to find. But like I said earlier, guys, all that's left to do is to do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. So in the next video, we're gonna start tearing this car apart, which is super exciting. You know, according to some Reddit posts, this would only take 10 hours to do. I'm not a mechanic. I don't have every tool that I'm ever gonna need. We're gonna kind of see what happens. We're gonna go through the motions of the ocean, and we're gonna figure out if we can do this ourselves or if we need to call in some backup. But anyway, guys, short video, I understand. I just wanna explain what's going on. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.